Greetings all, Elle Grinnell here with TrueSpeak, bringing you the All Things Happy and Healthy vlog again this week. Thanks for joining me. Today is kind of fun. I like doing the things that make you think and the things that might be polarizing. And because when we massage our brain with these different avenues of thinking, it's really good for us. Really good for our brain, right? Getting those neural pathways firing in a different direction. It's like massaging, the muscle that is the brain. So today I want to talk about how bad luck can be a good thing, and more importantly, how to shift bad luck into opportunities and such, because there are lots of types of luck, and bad is one of them. So I wanted to start with the one that is the most controversial, bad luck. And so the three concepts, the one, two, threes with me. Today we'll talk about perceived bad luck, opportunistic bad luck, as well as bad luck signposts. And then at the end, when you watch all the way through, I have a bonus one for you as well that I decided to throw in there last minute. Okay, so let's begin with perceived bad luck. Perceived bad luck is when we believe or think or imagine that we have bad luck or that a situation was bad. However, many of us have experienced a situation where at the time, in the moment, we perceived something was bad luck. Like, for example, when we didn't get maybe a job we applied for, or we had issues with our car before a road trip, or I don't know, there's so many things that we could think of as or be perceived as bad luck. And then in hindsight, later, when you're telling the story, you get to say, wow, that was actually a blessing in disguise. So the first thing for shifting bad luck or the thoughts of bad luck in your mind is to ask yourself, could this possibly be a blessing in disguise? Now, the reason why this is tricky is because in the moment, the blessing has not yet been divulged, right? So I can tell you hundreds of stories. So one quickly would be many years ago, I didn't get a job that I'm serious, people. The only thing that was missing from that job description was my photograph, my face. And I didn't get the position. And I was angry, frustrated, hurt, litany of negative emotions, only to come to find out later that in just a couple weeks after that fact, that I was finally pregnant with my first daughter, my first child, which was super exciting. And so in hindsight, then I was able to see that if I had gotten that full-time position and all the stress around it, starting something new and this, that, and the other thing, it would have been difficult for me. And so I understood and embraced it, that it was actually a perceived, a misperception is what it was. So we have those lots of times where in hindsight, we can see that it was a blessing in disguise. So sometimes we need to sit with the fact that this could possibly be a blessing in disguise, and I just haven't seen it yet, right? And then the other thing, the reason why we have trouble with bad luck is our perception is strongly tied to the outcome, meaning that if it doesn't happen this way, that it's bad or that it's bad luck. And so for today, I'd like for you to consider the concept of failing up, because very often we don't get those things that we are so strongly attached to, because we need to learn a lot of things about surrender and letting go and breathing and all those kinds of things that a lot of people see as woo-woo or esoteric or not strong traits. But for those of us who embrace them, we consider our lives extremely lucky and blessed. So I would encourage you to think about how tightly you're holding on to the situation. So it's not that it was bad as much as you were so attached to how the outcome needed to be that you saw it as a bad situation or bad luck. Okay, moving on. Opportunity. Bad luck can be a good thing because it presents us many times other opportunities. And one of those opportunities is the opportunity to practice our inner awareness, right? So things like, it could have been worse, right? It could have been worse. I only got wet, but I could have drowned. I think that's an Urban Dictionary definition of luck. And so anyhow, you get the point. So the opportunity to be aware of how it could have been fortuitous, it could have been worse, it could have been so many other things, right? So we have the opportunity to practice our inner awareness, and our inner awareness allows us to grow and not stay stuck in the past, hold on too tightly of expectations and all of that. So bad luck is very often an opportunity for personal growth. Okay, and then the third thing is sometimes bad luck is a signpost. It's a signpost that you're headed in the wrong direction, that it's not a good decision, or opportunity or event or all those types of things. And those can be challenging for us, especially when we're holding on to the outcome being a certain way. Okay, so many times when we're traveling through life, we do take the wrong path. And if we're lucky enough, we get the signpost that says U-turn, right? Wrong way, go back. And then what's hard is we traveling down that path that we've already traveled, but in the opposite direction. Now you get to see things with hindsight and you have more clarity. Then once you get back to, ground zero, so to speak, then you can take the other path. You didn't possibly see that other path. Maybe you were afraid of that other path. And now you know that that's the path for you. Okay, so that's what it means when sometimes bad luck is actually a signpost for opportunity. A really funny story. One time my sister and I were at a convention, or going to a Las Vegas convention in Las Vegas. And we were staying at a friend's condo because we'd never been there before, but he's like, yeah, stay at my place. The more it looks like people live there, the better. And so this was before GPS and cell phones and such. So you gotta lean into this story with me. So we're talking and driving, and we have the written directions for how to get to their condo. But we're just not finding it, and he said, oh yeah, it's just off the strip. It's really close. It's a short drive to the convention center. We've been going for, I don't know, I'm going to say 20 minutes. And so I said, oh my gosh, I feel like we're so lost. Could you show me a sign, like speaking to God, my higher power, my truth? And literally right at that moment, we passed a sign that said, welcome to California. Oh my goodness. That's one of my favorite stories of what looks like bad luck, right? Getting lost in the desert, so to speak, was actually a good thing. It was a good learning experience. It was good laughter. I asked for the signpost and immediately got it. So we made a U-turn and finally found, of course, where we needed to be. So sometimes what looks like bad luck is actually a signpost that you're on the wrong path, direction, and stuff. And if you go back, you'll find that the other path was there and you didn't see it because you were either fearful about the courage it would take to go somewhere new, different, unknown, kind of like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, or you just didn't want to do the work. You wanted to take the easy path, the easy route. Okay, so you can use signposts for shifting from bad luck to good luck. Okay, here's the bonus I promised you. There's a really good question you can ask yourself when you feel like you're having bad luck or bad situations or bad opportunities, and that is, what else could it mean? Because sometimes, again, our perceptions are so stuck that it needs to be a certain way, or we feel like this is our only opportunity, or all of those kinds of things that I've already talked about. When we sit down and get quiet and say, what else could this mean? Okay, well, it means this isn't the right one for me. This means that I'm not supposed to relocate my family, 2,000 miles. This means whatever. So you get in and you sit down and you breathe, and I'm not going to do the meditation with you today because you know how by now to slow down, get those mindful breaths in, and say, what else could it mean? And if you have the naggy voice, well, you didn't, then just say quiet, do the Caesar the dog whisper thing, and say, no, I'm speaking to my true source, my higher power, my God light right now. What else could it mean? And then you'll hear this really loving and kind, benevolent wisdom that can help you. Okay, so cultivate the lesson and move on. That's the best way to squish what we call bad luck. They are all actually lessons in the guise of a hooded bad luck appearance. And there's just so much opportunity buried in there for us, and wisdom and growth and opportunity and introspection and so many good things. Okay, so I would love to hear your stories. I would love for you to share these things with me. I'm a great listener, so the opportunity to hop on my calendar is in the link below. As always, please share, subscribe, review, and until next week, looking forward to more time with you again. And until then, stay happy and healthy, my friends. Aloha.